Hello everyone, I'm your instructor Corey and welcome back to part 3 of the walk-up warm-up series, which we're going to be focusing on arm swinging and spinal movement. Let's get started. First, we're just going to kind of test out our arm swing. So just in a seated position, let's just swing one arm at a time. And let's just take note. Does one arm feel a little slower than the other? Do we have any symptoms going on, like those slow movements like bradykinesia? Is it a little bit rigid? And all we're going to do is just see what this feels like, do our warm-up, and see if the warm-up made a difference. Couple more. Just take note. What's it feel like to you? Good. Now let's warm up the skin receptors within our hands and our arms and our shoulders. And all we have to do is take our hands together and we're just going to start rubbing one hand over the other, creating a little friction. You might be able to feel the heat or you might feel the texture from your hand, whether it's smooth or a little rough. We're going to move through the whole hand and the arm, from the forearm up to that upper arm, bicep and tricep, and we're going to try to get up here to our shoulder if we can, and then come back down. All right, let's warm up the other. Take that one hand and just create some friction, moving the skin side to side or going fast so you can feel the heat produced by the friction, or you can even go nice and slow and move the skin around a little bit more. Doesn't matter how, let's just wake it up because we're going to use it. Perfect. Now we're going to keep our hands on our thighs right here. And what we're going to do first, one of the most important things to me is to get my clients to use their shoulders in a little bit different way than just swinging the arms. So what I mean by that is we're going to think about this shoulder coming up to our ear and away from our ear. Not only does this create a little bit of range of motion in that shoulder, but it gets that scapula in the back involved a little bit. Because if this is pressed down, our arm swing isn't going to be very big. It's going to keep it holding here, and that's all I'm going to be able to do. So let's work on bringing the shoulder up to your ear, or you can think about bringing up to the ceiling. If you need help, take that opposite hand and just give it a little bit of push up and then back down. See what works for you. Doesn't have to be big. And a bonus, if you can do it without moving your head side to side, or if you're looking at a target, you're not moving side to side of that target. One more. And relax. Now let's switch it to the other side. Shoulder coming up to the ceiling or that same side ear. Going to do 5 reps. So we're going to get 2 more in, letting that scapula come up and back down, up and back down. Now we're going to take our elbow on that opposite side and bring it away from our body, out there, and then bringing it back in. So focus on a little bit of internal, external rotation of that shoulder joint, and you're getting a little bit of range of motion out of that wrist as well. A couple more. Good. Safe, pain-free range of motion. Doesn't have to be big. Just control it and do what you can. Switch it to the other side. Elbow goes away from the body and pulls back into the body. Keep those hands set. Let's go for 2 more on this side. Away from the body and back in. Away from the body and back in. Now we're going to take our opposite hand and we're just going to flip it away from our leg and then bringing that handprint back down, and you can give it a little pressure at it. Flip out to the side, away from the body and back in. Away from the body, back in. Getting a little bit more range of motion out of that forearm and stabilizing here at the shoulder. And now let's switch to the other side. Take that hand, fist or wrist, moving and rotating it away from your body, opening up the palm and then placing the palm or handprint back down into that thigh. Good. Let's try for 1 more. All right. Let's flip this hand out. Okay, now what I want you to do, as this hand flips in, I want you to rotate the elbow away from the body. And as it flips out, you're bringing the elbow closer into the body. So we're asking the shoulder to do a little bit more. Out and back in. And this is a little bit of coordination. So as that hand comes down, we're bringing that elbow out. As that hand opens up, we're bringing the elbow in. Hand down, elbow out. Hand up, elbow in. Let's do more and more. Hand down, elbow out. Hand out, elbow in. Relax that arm. Switch it up. Start with the palm facing up towards the ceiling. As you bring that hand back onto your thigh, you're bringing that elbow away from your body. Work on coordinating those motions. If you need to do one at a time, that's okay. But eventually see if you can get them moving at the same time. A little bit harder when you're moving two different joints. One more on this side. Good. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So find hands, heart center. I know your heart's a little bit over here, but we're going to pretend it's a little bit more into the center. So you can place your hands right here to give an understanding of where your chest is and where that T-spine in the back is. So keep your hands centered. Don't rotate your hands. And look at something and just turn your head to the left and to the right of it. Now, go nice and slow. You want to make sure that you see your visual target the whole time. Don't get lost or don't lose it. And let's just try to turn our heads left and right, side to side of that visual target. Come to center. Now get your head and your chest and hands to move to the side of that visual target or rotate to the side of that visual target and the other one. We really want this movement right here where our hands are at to initiate that movement, and the head just goes along. We're going to try for 2 more. And here's the last one. And bring it to center. Let's go back to the arms. Now what I want you to do is you're going to reach that arm out and you're going to open your palm slightly. And then you're going to reach it back in, slide it on your leg and put that palm back onto your thigh. Slide it out, open up that palm as you swing that arm and you're reaching up, slide it back in. Notice this, I'm not keeping my shoulder from coming down. I'm letting that shoulder go with me as my arm goes up and I open up that palm slightly. Still working in that elevation of that shoulder and external and internal rotation of it. One more. Now let's rotate with that. So as we reach, we're going to rotate the center of our chest to the left of that target as we reach. And then we're going to rotate back to center and pull everything back in. Reach it out and rotate. Pull it in. Reach it out and rotate. Pull it in. Let's do 2 more. There you go. Small but mighty. Good. Switch it. So keeping everything centered, look at your target. You're just going to reach out towards that target, open up that palm, and think about that shoulder and that palm and that forearm raising slightly above what you're looking at, and then bring it and slide it back down. 4 of these, or 4 more that is, total of 5. Keep looking at that visual target and reach up and above it. 2 to go. Play around with your range of motion. Focus on pain-free, even if it's just halfway through. Reach towards that target. Let's get 1 more. There you go. Now we're going to rotate with that, so you can put your hand on heart if you want. And you're going to rotate to the side of what you're looking at as you reach. Again, this is small but mighty. We don't need these big, huge motions right here. We're focused on several different parts of our body, moving in different ranges of motions within our shoulder and getting that T-spine rotation to go with us. Try 1 more. Head and upper chest goes with you as you reach up and out. All right, shake it out a little bit if you need to. Let's alternate. Start with one side. You're going to reach, we're going to slide and rotate. And we're just going to think about we're reaching towards our visual target as we're turning side to side of it. And I like to slide my hands on my legs because it gives my hands a little bit more feedback. Don't think you have to really reach out there. Just let that arm go up and above of what you're looking at. You need to focus on opening up that palm just slightly more. We're coordinating that left and right side of our body, left and right shoulder, and working in that T-spine rotation. Let's try to get 2 more. And relax. Good. Quite a bit of work. Good range of motion. Small but mighty. Now, just swing that arm. Both of them. I just want you to see, do you feel like you're moving a little bit more with ease? Is one arm swinging more than what it did before? Or does it feel a little looser? Now, if you like one specific movement, work on that and utilize that before you go out on your walk. Okay, we're gonna work on a little bit of arm swing and rotation in our T-spine in a standing position. What we wanna do first is just test our arm swing, because we're going to compare this later to see if the warm-up helped or to see if it was a win for us. Just take note, what does this arm swing feel like? Do you feel a little pain? What are your symptoms like? Does it feel a little bit slower? Does one arm feel like it's slower than the other? Okay, we're going to give a little bit more feedback to our body. Before, when we were seated, I showed you how to take your hand and just rub to create friction or move the skin around just to add in a little bit of feedback via those skin receptors. This time we're going to do a little different. So what I want you to do is grab something very lightweight that might have some texture to it. I like to use a tennis ball or a rolled up hand towel. I'm going to put it in one hand. And I'm just going to squeeze and release, squeeze and release. Just to kind of give some feedback to that hand. So our body and brain know exactly where it's at. One more. Good. Now, same side. We're going to take that shoulder and bring it up towards the ceiling and then bring it away. Or you can think about it coming closer to your ear and away. And the reason we're doing this is because we're trying to get a little bit more movement out of the scapula. If that area is being pulled down, we're not going to get a big arm swing out of it. Try for a couple more. And relax it. Okay, now let's work in a little bit of rotation of that shoulder. I like to use my hand sometimes and let that guide my shoulder. Or you can think about your elbow pointing out to the side and then trying to come in back and towards the body. Because we want to just not get that range of motion from that forearm, which a lot of times it happens. We need that range of motion to come up from that shoulder joint a little bit more. So take your time, these can be a little difficult. One more. Great. Now we're going to work on a little bit of rotation of the head and the trunk. So place one hand on your chest and just look at something and turn your head side to side of it. Yep. Rotating to the left and to the right. One more to each side. Good. Now take that hand, let that hand rotate. So we're trying to rotate from our T-spine a little bit more, keeping our head and chest connected, not moving in opposition or one moving more than the other. And we're just turning side to side of what we're looking at. One more. That's it. Now let's add that in to a weight shift. So first, what I want you to do is look at something and shift towards it and away. Shift towards it and away. One more, shift towards it and away. Now I want you to focus on that part of your chest, your sternum, and you're gonna rotate towards that front foot and then rotate away from it. Or you can keep looking straight ahead and rotate towards that and away. Getting that weight shift and that trunk rotation in right here. One more. All right, we're gonna add in that arm swing. So as we swing that arm, we're rotating what we have in our hand up towards the ceiling, or if you don't have anything, turn that palm up towards the ceiling. and then we're going to turn it back. 3 parts, that weight shift, that bit of rotation in our T-spine, and that rotation and elevation is coming from that shoulder. Move toward your target. You can think about lifting that hand above it. Try for 2 more, and you can play around with your speed if you want. Last one. Good. All right, let's switch sides. Feet are hip width. Let's start with squeezing what we have in our hands. 3 to 5 reps. Any type of pressure you want. Just getting a little bit more feedback there. Good. Now, work on elevating that shoulder up towards the ceiling and back down. Getting that scapula to move a little bit more and get it loosened up. Doesn't have to be a big range. And this one can be difficult as well. So take your time with it. Just direct that part of your body up towards something, whether it's that ear or that ceiling. All right, now let's get that rotation in that upper arm. That elbow's gonna turn away from us and turn back, or it's turning towards that side wall and then turning back towards the back wall, the one behind us. Side wall to back wall. Give a reference to points to move your body towards. 1 more. Good. Now hand on chest, look straight ahead, turn that head left and right of what you're looking at. Doesn't have to be big, just control it and find what feels comfortable to you. 1 more. Now we're going to take that hand and make sure that hand is rotating with us. So we get that rotation out of our T-spine and getting that movement side to side that we need when we're walking forward and swinging that arm. Relax that. Let's get into that staggered position. Leading with that opposite. Start by looking at a target and shifting towards it and away. That's it. Get closer, get further away. Can you feel that front foot get heavier as you get closer to your target and lighter as you get closer to your target. All right, now let's add in that turning of your chest. Think about your sternum, the center of your chest, or even your heart, turning towards that front foot and away, or turning towards what you're looking at. Now this one does not have to be a huge range of motion, ever so slight. We just want to make sure that part of our body is rotating with us. And we're going to add in that arm swing. So as we swing, we're letting this elevate a little bit and opening up that palm or turning what we have in our hand up to the ceiling or up towards what we're looking at, and then we're bringing everything back. Those components are trying to work together. So start off slow. Initiate with whichever one you want to first. It might be you need to lead with that arm and then everything follows. Or you need to lead with that weight shift and then everything follows. Find your speed and try to give me 1 more. Nice. Now, just test out that arm swing. Does it feel different? Is it lighter? Do you feel more connected with that movement? So today we focused on a little bit of that arm swing, but diving deeper into the rotation of our shoulder and getting some elevation out of there to really produce that movement. And then we played around with adding a little bit of rotation. So try these out, whether it's just one little simple movement or the whole video before you go out on your walk, and to see if it made a difference. And next week, we'll pull everything together and work on a little bit more coordination. See you then.